Hey everybody, this is viklasthemad, bringing you some action from World of Warships. This is the battle that I promised you that I'd show you last week, if you remember. Um, and yeah, this was an interesting one. It's one of my earlier matches in the Isakaze, I believe Isakaze, sorry, pronunciation. Um, and I think this was actually the first one, the first battle that I had in it. Now I gotta say I've been rather impressed with this ship. It's a good little ship, and I just I just wish it had more torpedoes. It's got three torpedo launchers aligned along the center of the ship, but they're only twin tube, so most you can put out is six torps. If they were triple tube, that would be, well, a whole lot better, but I think that might be a little too broken for Tier 4. But then again, it is Tier 4, so maybe something with more tubes would have been preferable. I mean, I'm sure there was something in the Japanese fleet that would fit the tier that had that. After all, look at the Russian tech tree. You've got the Dursky at Tier 3, and it puts 10 torpedoes in the water. Um, that's a lot. Granted, they're all very short range, like 3 kilometer range, um, whereas the Isakaze has, I think, a 7 kilometer range. Yeah, 7 kilometer range on its torpedoes. So, but whatever. One of the daily missions I had going into this battle was to get a total of 10 torpedo hits over the course of the day. Didn't all have to be in one battle. I came very close to completing that mission in this battle alone. Um, I would have very much liked to have put some torpedoes in the water there, but I'm well out of range of anything that I could target with my torpedo spread, and with so many friendlies all maneuvering around very close to me, probably not a very good idea. Um, but I'm looking for a target, and I've got one in mind right there. He's coming into range. We're going to widen out the spread, put a couple in the water, put a couple more, and the last pair we're going to put behind his present course in case he turns when he gets to the island. So he's bracketed by our torpedoes and the island, and we want to make sure we don't run aground ourselves here while staying out of detection range. With that camouflage that I've got on, which was a limited time camouflage, um, but there's one of the torpedo hits right there, and there's a second. So all right, and the torpedoes are about to come back up. There they are. We've already hit him with 2 torpedoes. Put another full spread out on his track, but he's maneuvering. So don't anticipate any of those actually hitting the target. And you look at his health, and it's dwindling away, and you have to remember the thing about, and remember, didn't want to run aground, and there we go, ran aground. But thing you got to remember is, you've got guns too. There's 3 main battery guns on this ship. Excuse me. And if I just turned to fire, I probably could have taken him out myself. But then this guy over here would know where I'm at. I'm just at the edge of detection range. As I put those torpedoes in the water. Then I start to scramble closer to him because I'm not sure that any of those torpedoes are actually going to make it to him. I'm at the very far end of torpedo range, but it looked like he was steaming closer. So, Excuse me again, I seem to be fighting some kind of throatiness here. But anyway, the torpedoes do look good. The spread looks fine. And it looks like they might just make it to him. And indeed, one of them does bury itself into his side. So I'm expecting him to change his course here, put another salvo of torpedoes in the water, and turn away. So far, we've got 3 torpedo hits in this battle, which is pretty good. But unfortunately, we're losing right now, 4-2. And they have 2 caps out of the 3. But, watch these torpedoes. And any second now. There we go. Got him with another one. So we're up to 4 torpedo hits now. And he's widely changed his course. And there it is. So we're going to swing back around this side of the island. Put another few torpedoes in the water. And it looks like he's not going to survive long enough for these torpedoes to get to him, but we're going to try anyway. And it's about this time that I remember, oh, that's right, I have guns. So I put the torpedoes in the water, hoping to also catch that cruiser that's coming around the corner of that island. And then, since I'm about to be detected anyway, open up on him, shots are out, and there he goes. Took him out. Okay. And somehow remained undetected. Okay, well, all the torpedoes missed that guy. So, and he's steaming away. So, could fire at him. Thinking about it. Go ahead and shoot. Now, I say I'm not detected, but I just remembered at this point in the battle that I, in fact, probably could have been detected because my commander was under retraining from the Wakatake. So, put some torpedoes out into the water against one target, and then switch targets for the other 2 launchers. Torpedoes in the water, sitting in the smoke screen. Now we wait. Turn away. Throttle up to full. Get the heck out of there. He's got to see us now. Hit the speed boost. Torpedoes are in the water. Oh, avoid collision with friendly. There he is. And another torpedo hit. And flooding. Alright. So it was a light tap with that torpedo. Now here I do something that you're not supposed to do. I send torpedoes out ahead of a friendly ship. Remember, there are no such thing as friendly torpedoes. They do not discriminate. They damage everyone they hit. Luckily, this Karlsruhe continues to steam on a straight line course, and the torpedoes just kind of slide along next to him. So full salvo of torpedoes out, line up the guns, start firing high explosive. Miss with the first salvo. Adjust aim, coming around to the front side of him now, so I don't have to lead him as much. Second salvo out, couple of hits scored, and 3 torpedo hits. 4 torpedo hits on targets now. And there it is. That's the 9 torpedo hits. So one more torp hit, and I've completed the mission. But if you look at the scores, we're way down. They've got 811 points to our 300 and something. And they still control 2 caps. So, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to pull a win out of this one. Now, I continue to fire at this guy. Put more torpedoes in the water against him. 1 salvo, 2 salvos, and he sinks. Looks like he probably flooded to death. Now I'm taking fire from the port side. There they are. 2 enemy ships. Cruiser and a destroyer. Line up the guns on the destroyer. Fire. He disappears, and that shot had no chance of hitting. It's going to drift wide behind him. And we're coming to the end of the recording here. Put some more torpedoes in the water down the strait just in case he comes around, but he's not going to. Shortly after that, they won on points, and I was sunk by that Kuma that was around the corner there. But still, 11 main battery hits, 9 torpedo hits, and 3 enemy ships sunk. I was 1 torpedo hit away from completing the surprise attack mission in that single battle by itself, which would have been incredibly impressive considering it was a fully stock ship, but still 640 experience and a whole lot of credits. Came in second on the team, which was surprising to do that with a brand new ship. But, with all that experience, damage done, and getting 3 kills out of the 7 that the team was able to pull off, perhaps not as surprising as one would assume. So all in all, a pretty good result there. Did just under 68,000 damage with those 9 torpedo hits as well. That's out of 62 torpedoes launched, so we put a lot in the water. Almost 14,000 damage from the flooding caused as well on 3 of those torpedo hits. 11 main battery hits only got us just under 4,000 damage. But still, it got results. And you can see here the breakdown of credits after everything is resupplied and repaired. We come out still with, and all the bonuses that we get for everything, because there was a boatload of signal flags flying and everything. And our accomplishments, we get over 100,000 credits and a lot of experience. Now that was about a week ago that I played all of that. Unfortunately, after having 2 games today in the Isakaze that were pretty good, you can see the rest of today was just absolutely terrible, and it was incredibly disheartening. The last failure here in the Kawachi was just abysmal, and I was ready to throw my keyboard through my screen. And it wasn't just the fact that I played poorly. Some of those matches I played exceptionally well. But the rest of the team just, I don't know what they were doing. I don't think they know what they were doing. But my big problem right now that I'm having is this thing here. The South Carolina. It's absolutely terrible. It is horrific. And I'll tell you the worst part about it. You see how much experience I've got with it? I've got over 7,000 experience with it. To get to the Wyoming, I need a total of 9,000. Do you know how hard it is to get that 9,000 experience in the South Carolina? Do you know how difficult it is to get to that? And that's on top of all the experience that is required to get the things that you need to unlock before you can unlock the Wyoming. Look at this. 2 defeats in the South Carolina, averaging about 300 experience between the 2. And it's absolutely terrible. 2 battles, total of just over 600 experience. And look at this. I mean, almost 32,000 credits. And 349 experience. But, that's 15 hits, 4 incapacitations. I come in 5th on the team, which is honestly pretty good for me with the South Carolina. And look at all this damage. Look at this. Look, I don't get it. And I hit that Samson, and it did no damage. And I don't think in that battle. And look at this. I was sunk by a tier 1. A tier 1, for crying out loud. And I didn't have a whole lot of damage done to me when I was sunk. So I don't know. I don't get it. It's just this ship is terrible. And look at this. The last one was playing good. This is just abysmal. Only 4 hits. I set 1 fire. Look at my position on the team. And look at the rest of the team. They didn't do so great either. But look at this. 2 hits out of my 4. 2 of them were against this Umikaze, and he didn't sink. He didn't. Okay, so not only the gun dispersion is the shot dispersion is terrible. The damage output is terrible. The reload time is terrible. The only thing this ship has going for it is the fact that it leads to the Wyoming. And I'm so fed up after the kind of gameplay that I've had today, that I've had to put up with today, that I'm pretty much I'm ready to quit. And look at the amount of damage that I took, and this was very rapidly. I was there, and then I was gone. And you can see the kind of experience that these kind of results end up with, and the credits. And this was a loss in credits, and it takes forever to get the experience to get up to the next ship. So it's totally not worth it. If you're out there and you're thinking about playing battleships in this game, skip the American line. Just stick with the Japanese. Go with the Japanese battleships, unless you can throw a ton of money at the game and just buy the free experience to skip through this piece of junk. I consider this akin to the M3 Lee in World of Tanks. So that's all I've got today. We'll see you next time.